Is it? 6:56. Are we live now? Do we have anybody yet?
We have one person.
You.
Probably.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terry, where we talk about real estate. My name is Terry Reed. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Coastal Properties in West Palm Beach. However, I work from Miami to Fort Pierce and from West Palm Beach to the Glades. We've been doing these home buyer seminars for 10 years now. They've evolved. Now we're virtual, and now we call them boot camps. And Tuesdays with Terry is a form of our boot camp where for a half hour, we pick a topic on real estate and we just do a deep dive into it. And we go as hard as fast as we can for 30 minutes. And any questions, please leave them in the chat box and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So I'm going to get started. Tonight's topic is down payment assistance programs. Our first Tuesdays with Terry, we talked about getting pre-approved for a loan, which is really the very first step. And before we even dive into these down payment assistance programs, you need to know that you still need to get pre-approved for a loan before you can even apply for any down payment assistance program, whether it's with a nonprofit, whether it's with the state, whether it's with the city. 9 times out of 10, you're still going to get the money from a private lender, being a bank, a mortgage company, a credit union. And then that's when the down payment assistance will kick in. Our second Tuesdays with Terry was about condos and townhouses, and how the rules have been relaxed a little bit on buying a townhouse or a condo, and how that might be the best first step for a first-time home buyer, especially in Palm Beach County, where the price of housing is so high. So, oops. June is National Home Ownership Month. So I wanted to really kick these discussions off a few weeks before June, because I think June is a good time to get everybody motivated to take that first step to become a homeowner. Because as we talked about previously, if you just procrastinate, it may never happen. And when we're talking about down payment assistance programs, each entity that has one of these programs, specifically I'm talking about government entities and nonprofit entities, they only have a finite pot of money. And from the time that they get awarded that money till the time that it gets released to them, it goes really quickly. So let me just say, this is something you have to approach like a part-time job. I suggest that you take a spreadsheet, and as we go over, or you take a sheet of paper or a legal pad and you make yourself a spreadsheet. You want to do that for lenders, and you're going to want to do that for some of these entities that may have down payment assistance programs. So let's just step into it. First of all, I just want to give you the names of the preferred lenders that I work with. These are people that I've worked with, buyers, to get financing for housing. Each one of these preferred lenders has worked with people to help raise their credit if need be. Has worked with them to find some down payment assistance programs. And these are people I trust. These are people that will work with you, that will work with me. And these are lenders that can help get you into a house. That's the first step. So let's talk about probably the biggest pool of cash for housing assistance. And that would be Palm Beach County, their Department of Housing and Economic Stability. Rather to get into too much detail, they get the biggest pot of funds from HUD. Most of the money that is used for housing assistance, down payment programs, low-cost mortgages, most of the money comes from HUD. 70% of it comes from HUD. The other 30% comes from the state. When you purchase a house, you pay taxes. They're called documentary tax stamps. That goes for affordable housing. That goes for bonds, so that communities can have some extra money. Those usually break down into two categories: SHIP, which is a pot of cash, and home, which is a pot of cash. Palm Beach County has both. They have the biggest pot of cash, and they also give some of that cash to some of the communities in Palm Beach County that can't actually qualify to get that funding from HUD on their own. So the smaller communities will pretty much pass you on to Palm Beach County for assistance. So what are the programs? They have SHIP. With SHIP funds, you'll still need to put 2 to 3.5% down for a down payment. You can receive up to $215,000 in assistance to purchase a house. However, you have to have good credit. You have to have at least a 600 credit score. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can use some of that money in place of the 2.5 to 3.5 required for a down payment. The home program is for lower income households. So I think the average median income in Palm Beach County right now is about $76,000. So every housing program is going to work on a percentage of that area median gross income. So I have a chart here that we're going to see in a few minutes, and that chart is something that you're going to want to keep handy if you're applying for these programs. There's also a veterans homeowners program, which is also income restricted, and you also have to have good credit. Now, for veterans, they can get some money to also go along with their VA loan, which is probably the best loan out there. This money comes out in January, and usually it lasts maybe 6 months. My suggestion is that you contact the county after you get pre-approved for a loan, because the county is not giving you the money. The county is not giving you a loan. For all these home buyer down payer assistance programs, you first have to qualify for a mortgage with a lender. So that's still your first step. So let's say you've done that, you've qualified for a mortgage, call Palm Beach County. Here's the number. This PowerPoint presentation will be available. So if you don't want to take notes, if you don't want to write all this information down, just send us an email on Facebook and we'll send you the PowerPoint presentation. This is the big one, Palm Beach County. That's the first place you should apply. There's a few communities that have their own programs, and therefore you can't use Palm Beach County. In other words, you have to be in unincorporated Palm Beach County to use the county's program. Here's the chart. This chart is color coded. This is going to tell you, based on your income, where you fall on the spectrum and whether you'll qualify for these programs or not. If you make too much money to qualify for any of these programs, don't worry. The best mortgage out there is still the FHA guaranteed loan. You'll get a better interest rate, and it's a government subsidized loan, so you have some protection with that. There are pros and cons with all these down payment assistance programs. Many times you pay a higher interest rate, but if you don't have the money to put down, then the higher interest rate outweighs the fact of not being able to purchase a house. So you want to keep this chart because this is really a HUD chart. So every program will be using these figures. Another pot of cash is the Palm Beach County Housing Finance Authority. This is not HUD money. This is your state bond money and tax revenue that is programmed into affordable housing. So they have 3 different programs. They have the Mortgage Credit Certificate. This is a tax credit. You can use this with any mortgage. However, there are income restrictions. 1 to 2 people in the household, you can't have an income of more than $83,400. 3 people plus, you can't have an income over $93,000. This could be a tax credit of up to $4,000 a year. However, your lender has to be willing to work with the program. That brings up another issue. not all lenders will work with all these programs. Why is that? There's a lot of bureaucracy. These loans and these loan guarantees and these grants, they don't close in 30 days. They don't close in 45 days. Sometimes they don't close in 60 days. Sometimes they close in 90 days. It's because of the government bureaucracy that's involved in the program. For that reason, there are only certain lenders that will work with a mortgage credit certificate program. There are only certain lenders that will work with Palm Beach County housing in their programs. So it's very important to work with your realtor and work with a lender that will work with these programs, because not all of them will. The other programs the Palm Beach County Housing Finance Authority has is first-time home buyer own a home opportunity program. Now, you have to have a high credit score for this program. You have to have a credit score of a minimum of 640, and depending, it could go up to 660. Now, the maximum household income is $111,450. So that's a good thing. That means more people can qualify. Freddie Mac, it's a little bit lower for household income. The Own a Home Opportunity Grant Program is for any buyers, not necessarily a first-time home buyer. You still must qualify with a lender. You have to have a minimum credit score of 640. Now, FHA, there are lenders that will go down to 580 credit score for an FHA guaranteed loan. Once again, your income can't exceed $113,100 for the household. And here are some charts that go along with these two programs. And there's nobody to call for this program. This program goes straight through lenders, and you have to be an approved lender. Now, rather than list all the lenders here, if this is a program that you're interested in, I will give you a list of lenders that handle this program. Ideally, what you want to find is a lender that handles several programs, because that gives you the best opportunity to get the best program for you. The next big program is the City of West Palm Beach. City of West Palm Beach has gone through some changes in the past few years. However, they do have some good programs. They are not handling their own programs right now. The Community Partnership Group is handling their programs. And right now they have a program called RISE. It's the North End Homeownership Program. And they will contribute $50,000 towards the purchase of a new home. Now, of course, there are some restrictions. There are income restrictions. There are credit restrictions. You still have to get approved with a lender. However, for this program, you go through the Community Partnership Group, not the City of West Palm Beach. And they are taking applications still. They still have funding. So this would be for a house in the north end of the City of West Palm Beach. They have two other programs that there is no funding right now. Funding has been exhausted. They have a home ownership assistance program, which helps provide down payment assistance. They have a historic Northwest home ownership program. Both of these programs can provide up to $40,000. It says 400 there. That's a typo. $40,000 in purchase assistance if you meet the qualifications. And once again, the Community Partnership Group is who you need to contact for that. And look who we have next. The next big pool of money for home buyers is the Community Partnership Group, now called Community Partners of South Florida, also known as the Housing Partnership, Community Partners. They have their own housing division, and they are also doing home ownership, down payment assistance, grants, housing counseling for many of the smaller communities. Jupiter is one, Riviera Beach is another. The way it works with the community partners is, first of all, you give them a call at this number or you send them an email, and you have to set up a personal interview. They don't give out much information. They don't put applications on the internet so you can fill them out. You have to speak to someone. Now, the advantage to that is they have a lot of different programs. They have a lot of different pools of cash. They also buy houses themselves and repair them, and they sell them to people that are in their program. So community partners, City of West Palm Beach County, the Housing Finance Authority of Palm Beach County, those are the four big pools of cash for potential first-time home buyers and home buyers in Palm Beach County. These are the people you need to contact. However, you need to get qualified for a loan. For all of these except community partners will help get you qualified. They have a matching fund where if you get in their program and you contribute X amount of money every month, they will match that up to, I think, $2,000. So if you could do that in a year, there's $4,000 you have for down payment assistance or closing costs to go along with whatever program you might qualify for. Now, what other programs are out there? What other communities have programs? The city of Boca has a down payment assistance program. It is open. They are taking applications. There are income restrictions. And to find out the information on that program, you have to give them a call. And the number is on the screen right now. And once again, we'll send this information. All you have to do is ask for it. City of Lake Worth has a first-time home buyers program. Once again, they'll match up to, that says 200, it should say $2,000 in savings. You must have a minimum 600 credit score. They will provide down payment assistance. Now, these matching programs, which are basically savings accounts, you have to make your contributions. It has to be like a bill that you're paying, like a utility bill, like your cell phone bill, because if you skip payments, you can lose the match. You'll still get the money back that you put into it, but you won't get the match. So if you're contributing $2,000 and hoping to receive another $2,000 in matching funds, you have to go to the home buyers education classes as assigned, and you have to make your contributions as assigned, or you'll lose that match. City of Riviera Beach has a program. It's called the Home Buyers Club. They allow people into the Home Buyers Club twice a year. They also have a match savings account, and they can provide some down payment assistance. Now, what happens with the Home Buyers Club is you go to housing counseling, you go to financial planning classes, you make your contributions to the savings account, and at the end of the period, then if you've met all the requirements and you qualify for a loan, then they'll help you with down payment assistance and they'll match whatever funds you've saved. Once again, you have to give them a call, you have to make an appointment, you have to go speak with them. Next up is the City of Delray Beach, which has a purchase assistant workforce housing program. Once again, you have to be approved by a lender first. You must contribute 2%, and your housing expenses can be no more than 40% of your total expenses. So income versus expenses. Now, you need to give them a call and set up an interview and go talk to them. City of Jupiter, the town of Jupiter, they have a down payment assistance program. It's a matching savings account. It's run by the Community Partnership Group / Housing Partnership. Once again, here's their number and their email information. It's very hard to get a lot of information from them because they have so many programs. They also have a land bank. So sometimes they can get you into a house where you just lease the land. Therefore, the house costs a little bit less money. Now, there are also other organizations out there, nonprofits, faith-based organizations. Everybody has a little different slant on the same program. Neighborhood Renaissance. Neighborhood Renaissance has basically been in the West Palm Beach area for several years. They do both rentals and they have single family houses they sell. Many times they purchase these houses and renovate the houses themselves, and they have a pool of money that if you meet the income guidelines and you can qualify credit wise, they can help you get into a house. Centro Campesino, they are all over Florida. They're in Boynton Beach, they're in Miami. They have a program similar to the Community Partnership Group. You must call them, you must set up an interview, do an intake. Of course, everything's virtual now. Everything's, everything's online. Nobody's actually doing face-to-face meetings yet. These are two other organizations. Now, that pretty much sums up right now who has housing assistance programs for first-time home buyers, down payment assistance programs. You'll notice that some communities I didn't mention, they don't have programs. So you can go through Palm Beach County for their pot of funds for those programs. Boynton Beach, I think they're in somewhat of a transition now. They're going to their own community development corporation, but right now they don't list any programs. Now, to make it even more complicated, each bank has its own program. Each mortgage company has its own program. Now, some of these programs you can use together, but everything's a trade-off. So you might go to a bank, you might go to Wells Fargo. They have a great first-time home buyers program. That might not be the best program for you. The interest rate might be higher. You really have to spend some time investigating all these programs. I know it sounds overwhelming, but it's really not. If you have somebody working with you that can help you sort through this, like I said previously, you have to approach it like a job. You have to jot this information down, keep it in a spreadsheet. Who did you talk to? What are the pros? What are the cons? Almost all the programs require that you attend housing counseling sessions. Some of those housing counseling sessions you have to pay for. Some of them are free, some of them are online. But most of the ones nowadays you have to pay a little money for. They want you to throw some money into the pot. They want you to show your commitment before they'll take it any further. So let's recap a little bit. We're almost out of time. We have 5 minutes. First step, you must talk to a lender. Talk to your lender, talk to one of my preferred lenders. You don't have to use them, but you need to get your credit score. You need to find out how much work you need to do. If you're already at 660, you're in good shape. Once you get your credit score, get a pre-approval. If you qualify, get a pre-approval. If you're at 580, you're going to qualify for an FHA loan, which is 3.5% down. Now, the lender might be able to help you with some down payment assistance on that program. So that has the lowest credit score and is probably the easiest to get. Not all lenders right now are accepting 580 as a credit score. FHA accepts 580, but some lenders are now up to 620, 640. So you want to find a lender. I know lenders that are still doing it for 580. Once you get a pre-approval, then you can go looking for some of these down payment assistance programs. Do you live in Palm Beach County, unincorporated Palm Beach County? It doesn't really matter where your post office is. Where I live, it says post office, Lake Worth, Florida. We're 15 miles from Lake Worth. That's just a postal address. You need to know if you're in the city of Lake Worth, if you're in the city of Boca, if you're in the city of Jupiter, if you're in the city of Riviera Beach, not just the post office address. If you are, then you can't use the Palm Beach County program. You have to use that community's program, or you use your lender's program. So I know it sounds a little complicated. I have tools to help you with this. Also, one other factor is some of these programs will ask you to use their preferred realtor. Oftentimes, these realtors have paid to become a preferred realtor. You're buying a house that doesn't cost you any money to have a realtor represent you. A realtor can help you cut through some of the bureaucracy, can help explain things to you, can help you sort through what is the best program for you. So my advice is to take advantage. You don't have to use me, but you should have your own realtor. Don't use the same realtor that represents the seller of the house that you want to buy and yourself, because you're being left without representation. So that wraps our time up here. My phone number is on the screen there. You can contact me at Reed, R-E-E-D, group, G-R-O-U-P, at kw.com. You can give me a call at any time. Respond to the chat in the Facebook Live. I'll be glad to send you this PowerPoint presentation. It has all the numbers on it. And we hope you enjoy your rainy evening, and I hope tonight was informative for you. And don't procrastinate. Make June the month you start your dream towards home ownership. Have a great night.